The first time Stefan touched me wasn't gentle. It wasn't planned. It wasn't even kind. His palm slammed against my chest, shoving me back into the cracked leather of the passenger seat so hard the breath left my lungs in a single startled gasp. The car rocked slightly on its suspension. Outside, rain drilled the roof like impatient fingers. Inside, silence stretched between us thicker than the humidity. I stared at him, heart hammering against ribs. "What the hell, man?" Stefan didn't answer right away. His knuckles stayed white around the steering wheel, jaw locked so tight I could see the muscle jump under stubbled skin. 32 years old, built like someone who lifted more out of anger than discipline. He looked every inch the straight guy who'd spent his life proving exactly that label to everyone around him, including himself. We'd been driving for Uber together 6 months. I was the chatty passenger who tipped well and never complained about the playlist. He was the driver who rarely spoke unless spoken to, answered in short sentences, kept his eyes on the road. Straight, married once, divorced fast, no kids, no drama, or so he claimed. Tonight the ride had started normal. Pickup at a quiet bar in Capitol Hill. Destination a condo 10 minutes away in Belltown. Then the rain turned biblical. Traffic crawled. Somewhere between Pike and Denny he muttered something about how people in this city forgot how to drive the second water hit asphalt. I laughed, agreed, made a joke about cetylites melting like sugar. He didn't laugh back. The silence grew claws. When we finally pulled into the underground garage of my building, he killed the engine but didn't unlock the doors. I reached for the handle. His hand shot out faster. "Don't." One word. Low. Rough. I froze. "Stefan?" He turned then. Really turned. Not the quick glance drivers give passengers. Full body. Shoulders squared toward me like I was a threat instead of the guy who'd once bought him coffee because his app glitched and he'd been waiting 40 minutes without pay. His eyes, gray, always a little cold, were burning now. "You think I don't notice?" he said. My mouth went dry. "Notice what?" "The way you look at me. Every damn ride. Like you're waiting for something." Heat crawled up my neck. Denial rose automatically. "I don't." "Bullshit." He leaned closer. The console between us suddenly felt paper thin. "You think I'm blind? You think I don't feel it?" I swallowed. "Feel what?" He didn't answer with words. Instead he reached across, fingers curling into the front of my hoodie, yanking me forward until our faces were inches apart. His breath smelled faintly of mint gum and the IPA he'd sipped earlier while waiting for me outside the bar. Then he pushed. Hard. My back hit the seat again. This time the seatbelt dug into my shoulder. Pain flared, brief and bright. I stared up at him, chest rising and falling too fast. "Why?" "Because I'm tired," he said, voice cracking on the last word. "Tired of pretending I don't see it. Tired of pretending it doesn't do anything to me." The confession hung there, ugly and naked. I searched his face for a lie, found only exhaustion, and something darker, something that looked a lot like fear. "Stefan," I whispered, "you're married to the idea that you're straight." He laughed once, bitter. Was. Past tense. The garage lights buzzed overhead. Rain kept falling. Neither of us moved. Then he reached out again, this time slower. His fingertips brushed my jaw, tentative, like he was testing whether I would shatter or bite. I didn't move. His thumb traced the edge of my lower lip. And the world tilted. We didn't kiss that night. He pulled back like he'd been burned, muttered an apology that sounded more like a curse, restarted the car, and drove me the last 200 feet to my lobby door. When I got out, he wouldn't meet my eyes. The door slammed. Tires hissed on wet concrete. Gone. For 3 days my phone stayed silent. No ride requests. No messages. I told myself it was better that way. Safer. He was confused. I was convenient. Nothing more. On the 4th day, he appeared outside my building at 11:17 p.m. No car. Just him. Hood up against the drizzle. Hands shoved deep in jacket pockets. I almost didn't buzz him in. When he stepped into my apartment, the air changed. Smaller. Hotter. He stood in the middle of the living room like he didn't know where to put himself. "I'm not gay," he said before I could speak. I leaned against the kitchen counter, arms crossed. Okay. I'm not. Got it. He dragged a hand through damp hair. But I can't stop thinking about you. The sentence landed like a brick through glass. I stayed quiet. Let him fill the space. I keep replaying it, he continued. That moment in the car. The way your eyes went wide. The way you didn't push me away. He looked at me then, raw. Why didn't you push me away? Because I wanted it, I thought. Because I'd wanted it since the first time he smiled, really smiled, when I tipped him $20 for a 7-minute ride. Instead I said, because I'm not afraid of what you might be. He stepped closer. And what if I am? Then you're bi, or pan, or just a man who wants another man right now. Labels are for other people. He laughed again, that same broken sound. You make it sound easy. It's not. Silence stretched. Then he asked the question that changed everything. Can I stay? I nodded. He didn't sleep on the couch. He slept beside me, fully clothed, back to my chest, close enough I could feel every ragged breath. Neither of us moved. Neither of us spoke. But his hand found mine under the blanket and held on like a lifeline. Morning came cruel. He woke first. I felt him tense the second consciousness returned. He sat up fast, like waking beside me had been a crime scene. I should go, he said. I didn't argue. At the door he paused. This doesn't mean anything. I met his gaze. It means something. He left without answering. For the next 2 weeks we played a dangerous game of almost. Almost touching in the car. Almost kissing in empty parking lots. Almost admitting what was happening. He kept saying he wasn't gay. I kept saying I didn't care what he called it. Then came the night his ex-wife showed up. Her name was Lauren. Blonde. Sharp cheekbones. The kind of beauty that looks effortless but probably cost hours in front of mirrors and even more in therapy. She waited outside his apartment building at 2 a.m. on a Tuesday. Stefan had just dropped me off after a late ride. We'd spent the last 40 minutes parked near Gasworks Park. Engine off, heat on low, talking in circles about nothing and everything. He saw her first. Shit, he breathed. I followed his gaze. She stood under a street lamp, arms folded, expression unreadable. He killed the headlights. Stay here. I didn't argue. He got out, walked to her. Words were exchanged short, sharp, too quiet to hear. Then she slapped him. Open palm. Crack that echoed across the empty street. He didn't flinch. She cried. He stood there, shoulders rigid, letting her rage until it burned out. When she finally walked away, he returned to the car, face blank. She wants to try again, he said. My stomach dropped. And you? I told her no. Relief flooded me, shameful and bright. But she knows, he continued. About you. I swallowed. How? Saw us last week. Parked near the pier. She recognized my car. Silence pressed in. She called me a liar, he said. Said I'd been lying to her our whole marriage. Said I owed her the truth. Do you? He looked at me then, eyes haunted. I don't know what the truth is anymore. That night he didn't go home. He came to my place. We sat on the floor of my living room, backs against the couch, a bottle of whiskey between us. I never cheated on her, he said after the third shot. Not once. Not with a woman. Not with anyone. I believe you. But I wanted to, he admitted. Not her. Not anyone specific. Just someone. Anyone who made me feel something. I reached for his hand. He let me take it. I feel something now, he whispered. I squeezed his fingers. I know. He leaned his head on my shoulder. What if I ruin you too? You won't. How do you know? Because I'm choosing this, I said. Every second, knowing exactly what it might cost. He turned his face into my neck. I felt the tremor run through him. Then he kissed me, soft at first, hesitant, asking permission with every brush of lips. I answered by kissing him back. The world narrowed to heat, breath, the taste of whiskey and fear and want. When we finally pulled apart, his eyes were wet. I'm scared, he said. Me too. He rested his forehead against mine. Don't let me run. I won't. But promises are fragile things. 3 weeks later the rumors started. Someone at the rideshare hub recognized us. Saw us leaving my building together at dawn. Saw his hand on my lower back. Saw the way he looked at me when he thought no one else was watching. Word spread fast. Drivers talk. Passengers talk louder. By Friday my inbox had messages from mutual riders. Some curious. Some disgusted. One anonymous account posted a blurry photo of us in the car. Stefan's arms stretched across the console, fingers brushing my thigh. Caption: Guess who's not so straight after all? Comments exploded. Fag. Traitor. He's just confused. Poor wife. I showed Stefan the post. He stared at the screen for a long time. Then he stood up, walked to the window, and punched the wall. Plaster cracked. Knuckles bled. I grabbed his wrist. Stop. He spun on me. They think I'm a joke. They don't know you. They know enough. I pulled him close. He resisted at first, then collapsed against me, shoulders shaking. I can't do this, he whispered. My heart sank. Do what? Be seen. Be this. I closed my eyes. Then don't. He jerked back. What? If it's too much, walk away. I won't hate you for it. His face crumpled. You'd let me go? No. But I'd survive it. He stared at me like I'd struck him. Then he kissed me again, harder, angrier, desperate. We fell onto the couch. Clothes stayed on. Boundaries held. But the kiss felt like goodbye and hello at the same time. Later, lying tangled together, he spoke into the dark. I'm going to lose everything. Maybe. Friends. Job. Reputation. Possibly. He swallowed. Worth it. I turned to face him. Only you can answer that. He was quiet for so long I thought he'd fallen asleep. Then he said, I want to try. My throat tightened. Then try. The next morning he logged into the app and changed his profile picture. No more generic stock photo of a mountain road. Just him. Smiling. Directly at the camera. Directly at me. Months passed in fragments of courage and collapse. Some passengers canceled when they realized who he was. Others requested him specifically, curious, supportive, cruel. He lost rides, lost income, lost people he'd known for years. But he gained something else. Quiet mornings when he woke up beside me and didn't flinch. Late-night drives with no destination, just music and hands linked over the gearshift. The first time he said, I love you, it came out choked. Like the words had been clawing at his throat for years. I said it back without hesitation. Society didn't forgive him easily. His ex-wife filed complaints with the rideshare company claiming harassment. They investigated. Found nothing. Closed the case. His brother stopped returning calls. His father sent a single text. Disappointing. Stefan read it aloud, voice steady. Then deleted the thread. He didn't cry. He just held me tighter. One evening in late autumn we drove to the coast. Rain lashed the windshield. Waves crashed against rocks below the overlook. He parked, turned off the engine, sat in silence. Then he spoke. I used to think being straight was the only thing that made me safe. If I stayed inside that box, nothing could touch me. No one could hurt me. No one could leave. He looked at me. Then you happened. I waited. And I realized safety is a lie. The only thing that's real is this. He gestured between us. This risk. This choice. Every day I wake up and choose you again. And every day it terrifies me. But I'd rather be terrified with you than numb without you. Tears stung my eyes. He reached for my hand. I'm not straight, he said. I'm not gay. I'm just yours. I leaned across the console and kissed him. Slow. Sure. When we pulled back, the rain had slowed to a drizzle. He smiled small, real. Think we'll make it? He asked. I looked out at the ocean. Endless. Restless. Beautiful. Then back at him. I think we already have. The question lingers long after the drive ends. Can a man raised to be straight ever truly unlearn the lie he was told about himself? Or is every choice toward love simply another performance in disguise? True or false?